NBA Straya. Yeah, the man from Creator, NBA Straya. Guess what? Happy Australia Day, everybody. Jim, what do you mean? Well, it's May 8, mate. Happy Australia. Gerald, even producer Gerald giggled at that one. That's all right. G'day, I'm your host, James Clements. You can also see my ugly mug on Fox Sports Lab NBA, the official AFL Supercoach podcast, the AFL Today show. We had the guys from Marmalade on today. That was fun. I'm here in the fancy studio, so you can see me standing up, running around, causing all sorts of havoc, waving my arms around, all that sort of gear. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you bloody well should be because it's very fun. I'll tell you that. But also, we're going to talk about a couple of game ones today, aren't we? Two big blowout game ones. Oh, geez. But we also had the Defensive Player of the Year announced. Jamal Murray got fined. All the good stuff. We'll cover that up in the daily whip around. And the game wraps. We've got That's Not a Knife. Oh, mate, no, mate. Spud of the night. Better than Lonzo Ball. We've got some yeah-nahs. We've got the unpopular opinion. Opinion of the day? Did I just run those 4 words? Opinion of the day? Wow. I sound like one of my uncles. Opinion of the day. Yeah, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Be more from the country. Anyway, we've also got the Outback Takehouse where we're serving up a flame grilled steak. There is a Shane Hill shoot your shot, light them up award, the Strayan Player Watch as well, because the Aussies played against each other. So that's what the Strayan Player Watch is now. Just basically when Dallas and OKC play. And then we'll pick and preview the single game for tomorrow, which will be very fun. We should also have a special guest on tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Either way, before we do that, let's do today. It's episode 1092 of NBA Straya. Oh, let's go!
The worst of days.
This is Joe Ingles, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack.
Well, you better, especially, I don't know, if you're Shaq, and you should watch out for the Shaq's dad attack, because Shaq did say today that he had done something similar to Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is his his darkness retreat. You might remember Aaron Rodgers did something like that. Shaq said it's easy. It's called punishment. Jeez. My dad used to do it all the time when I was a high-level juvenile delinquent. Close the door for 2 to 3 days. Holy shit. So yeah, it works. Would tell me to think about what I want to become. I mean, it might have worked in Shaq's case. It doesn't mean it's correct. Jesus. That's easy. It's called punishment. My father used to do it to him all the time. Chuck, shut up. When I was a high-level juvenile delinquent, close the door for 2 to 3 days. Yeah, it works. He did win a bunch of titles. That also just seems like it goes a bit far. Anyway, let's do some daily whip around. That's how we start every show here in NBA Australia. Defensive Player of the Year. We just mentioned him. Rudy Gobert, this stuff at the I shall hit you with this baguette and swat away the ball. Also became a father 9 months to the day when he was like, hey, I'm no longer a virgin. So congrats, Rudy Gobert. Had sex once, now has a baby. Where do you think you're from? Ballarat High? Come on, man. No, the idea here was he hit his first 3, Gerald. Producer Gerald's sitting there nodding going, what? How does this make any sense, Jim? Don't worry, I'm tying this all together. He hit his first 3 and said, wow, feels like I'm a virgin. It's like, that's not how this works, Rudy, but still. Hits his first 3, 9 months to the day when his first kid was born. I'll tell you what, it's pretty weird, but it's also pretty neat because it means, possibly, because, you know, these are amorphous dates when it comes to having squids. But hit a 3 and his missus is like, all right, you can hit this. Like, that's awesome. What a legend. Do you reckon he's just sitting there going, I want to have sex with you, huh? And she's like, not until you hit a 3. What the fuck was that accent? I don't know, but it was great. Anyway, he won Defensive Player of the Year for the 4th time. That is absolutely gnarly. You know why? Because only 3 players have ever done that. It's him, Zistava Tower, Big Ben Wallace, and a bloke named Dikembe Mutombo. You might remember him from ruining my childhood when I was 11, beating the 94 Sonics. Wait, was I 11? 10. How old am I? I have no idea. I'm so old that I now don't care. It's rad. Anyway, Rudy got 433 votes, beating out Wembanyama, his countryman. It was 245 votes. Bam came third with 91, ahead of AD and then Herb Jones. Weirdly enough, only 72 first place votes for Rudy in this one. Wemby actually got 19. I'm going to talk about this again later, but geez, it's a bit weird. But Jim, Wemby's stats were off the charts. Yes, stats are easy. Rudy also helmed basically the greatest defense of this generation. It's pretty good. If you're of a certain ilk, you might remember the D generation. That's what they should call this Wolves team. Amazingly, Bam got 3 first-place votes as well, which tells me that there's 3 local Miami reporters who get a vote. And AD got 4, which again tells me that 4 local LA beat writers have a vote in the awards. Amazingly, Jrue Holiday got 1 first-place vote as well, because someone in Boston clearly went, dude, did you see Jrue Holiday, kid? That dude plays amazing defense, dude. And away they went. I said this yesterday, take away local votes. Don't let them do it, because you're going to get squirrely bullshit like this. Or at least give them a half vote. My most favourite aspect of this, though, producer Gerald, is that the Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis, known traffic cone on defense, got a 3rd place vote for Defensive Player of the Year. If you watched basketball all season, like I did, and watched a crap ton of Sacramento Kings, you would have looked at that and gone, geez, you know who the best defender on the floor is right now? All other 9 dudes not named Domantas Sabonis are better than Domantas Sabonis. Jesus, that is chaos. To give him a vote is absolutely psychotic. I love it. Good on you, lunatics. Other news. The other Mitch Robinson doesn't play and didn't play for the Brisbane Lions or Carlton. The other Mitchell Robinson sustained a stress injury to his left ankle. So, you know how the Knicks are in the second round of the playoffs. They already don't have Julius Randle, noted all-star, all-NBA performer, Bojan Bogdanovic, and now they're starting center. Well, they're backup center now since he came back from his other injury. This is just getting brutal. They're not the New York Knickerbockers anymore. They're the New York MASH unit. This is fucking psychotic. 6 to 8 weeks. The other Mitch Robinson. Whew. Thing is, it might be okay against the Pacers. Jam and Jamal Murray. Now, this is a thing that I didn't really get into yesterday, but he threw a heat pack on the floor at the refs in yesterday's game, which was pretty funny. Once you figured out it was actually a player who threw it, he's like, oh, get out of here, refs, and threw the heat pack at the refs. At which point you go, hang on. A, shouldn't he get kicked the fuck out of that game? B, wait, he didn't get suspended? $100,000. So I posited on the Twitters, hang on a second, that's like 0 in NBA money, $100,000. You and I, everybody else in the world would be like, $100,000 is a fuck ton, Jim. I'll be like, yes, but not if you're on that NBA money. $100,000 is a fucking rounding error. He doesn't give a shit. If you then go, hang on a second, you mean if I stand here and just throw shit at Gerald and like he's like the opposition, I'm just going to get fined? Draymond Green, as soon as he saw that, definitely just went to eBay and bought some Ninja Stars. He's like, oh, yes. Bang! Like, he's just non-stop. He's going to get a slingshot. Unbelievable gear. So Jam and Jamal Murray, that was the only sort of thing that we've seen here. $100,000. Bit of a kick in the dick. But yeah, Michael Malone, meanwhile, was like trying his hardest to get a T in that game as well, screaming his head off at Mark Davis. The other team was screaming Mark Davis, and Mark Davis was like, oh, what am I doing? What do I do here? And everyone's like, Mark Davis, you suck. And he's like, oh, you're probably right. He just looks so like confused and befuddled most of the time that it's kind of impressive. Refs, man, refs. Austin Rivers posited that 30 NBA players could play in the NFL, but 30 NFL players could not play in the NBA. People got very angry about this on the internet. Oh, yeah, it's all cool to be acting tough like NBA players fall over the first time they get touched. Yes, that's right. But elite athleticism in the NFL is very different to elite athleticism in the NBA. You could get 30 NBA players and just play them a wide receiver in a fucking heartbeat. Like, no problems there. NFL players on the basketball court. I don't know. Look, I grew up in the country. This might come as a surprise. But whenever football players would then play basketball against the basketball players, like your mate Jim over here, I started playing footy in year 9. I'm going to knock the fuck out. I was like, yeah, that'll do me. I am done here. Whoo, how good are concussions? But the footy players would just come on and you're like, yeah, this isn't much fun because they're just wailing on dudes and they're tougher than us. This is shit. That's exactly what the NFL would be when they put 30 NFL players in the NBA. They could play. Their skills would be shit, but I mean, at the same time, look at Jeremy Sohan. Look at Ben Simmons. He's basically a fucking football player at this point. He can't shoot. He barely plays anyway. It's awesome. He may as well be. Fuck, maybe he should try out for the NFL. Catch the ball, run. Nah, running. That might be a bit of a problem for Aaron Benny. Anyway, there you go. That's all the news because there wasn't much else really going on. Defensive Player of the Year got announced. Kind of happy with that. Tying the record for 4 all-time is pretty awesome. Just BT dubs. And I think that's pretty much it. There was the illegal screen call of Miles Turner that was upheld by the last 2-minute report, which I always enjoy as well. Nothing screams awesome NBA playoffs than when going, we need to look at the last 2-minute report to see what the refs fucked up. Anyway, let's do some game wraps from the two blast today. Game wraps. Let's do it. Bang. The Boston Celtics kicked the absolute bejesus. That's right. They got straight killed out of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 120-95. This was a smashing. It was close to, it wasn't close to start off with. I think I tweeted out, look, if Boston keeps scoring 10 points to every 2 that Cleveland have, Boston are pretty likely to win this one, I reckon. It was 12-2. Then Cleveland sort of dragged themselves back into it. Okoro hit some threes. Donnie got going. They had the lead, and then I don't think they ever led again after like 23-22 or something. It was pretty brutal. They kicked the absolute bejesus out of him, did the Celtics, where it got to be very much like the stop it, he's already dead kind of vibe. And like at the start of the third quarter, they kind of eked it down. It was like an 11-point game, and then again 11, and then it was still 13, and then the doors just sort of got blown off, and it was pack her up, boys, we're done here. Because there was a moment in the second quarter where Boston just went, hey, you know how like scoring, you guys want to do that? Well, for the next 3 minutes, just hear us out. We're not going to let you. Sorry, not sorry. So it was this moment where it was about a 6-point game, I think, 40-34, like at the end of the first quarter. That paints a story as well, right? They gave up 40 points in the first quarter. Boston just loves scoring 40 points in a quarter this postseason. Away they go. They only scored 19 in the second. Didn't matter because they held the fucking Cavs to 15. So, yeah, it was a weird first half where it was like this, just blow the doors off with offense in the first quarter and then just clamps in the second quarter with defense. But Cleveland then it was like 34-40. You turn around and it was like 34-47. And you're like, oh, that's a 13-point differential very, very quickly. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Towards the start of the second quarter, it was all over. We had the Celtics fans in the office like, oh, geez, mister. It's only 23 points. Oh, geez. It's like, yeah, I think you're going to be all right. Cleveland can't fucking score. They shot 41% for the game, 26% from 3. Don't know about you, but that's pretty bloody shit. 49% for the Celtics, 40% from 3. That's pretty bloody good. The thing is, Donnie Mitchell had 33 and 6 with 5 assists, 12 of 25 from the floor. That's a really good Donnie Mitchell game. The problem was they gave it all up on the other end because Derek White had an absolute massive one. Darius Rucker, Judy Garland had 14, but he shot 6 of 15. That's a good result considering how bad he was shooting even before that. He was 2 of 8 from downtown. Isaac Okoro had 11 points. He hit a couple of threes early, and then it all went to shit. Mobley had 17, 13, and 3 with a block. Maxi Strus is a bit shocking too. 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting. If the Cavs have any chance in this, it's like Strus just nails 6 threes in a game. Donnie Mitchell gets going. They have that sort of classic Cleveland, just everyone hits a shot. Very little from the bench as well. Sam Merrill didn't hit a shot. Karras, my sweet baby, Levert went 2 of 6. Mook Morris 1 of 3 for 3 points total. It was brutal. Celtics, meanwhile, 18 of 46 from downtown. Again, Gerald, I'm no math magician, but that's pretty good. Jason Tatum had a bit of a quiet one because Jaylen Brown's like, boys, let me cook. And they're like, fuck, all right, sure. And he's like, check this out. And as soon as Jaylen Brown is really aggressive but also scoring, because like Jaylen Brown has these games where he's like, oh, I'm really aggressive, and he misses everything. And you're like, actually, you're aggressively shit. Today he was aggressively good, which is very fun if you're a Celtics fan. 32 points, 12 of 18 from the floor, 4 of 6 from downtown. He crushed it. He's going to pop up again in a second. Tatum still finished with an 18, 11, and 5 stat line, which is pretty good. He shot 7 of 19 and 0 of 5 from downtown, though. But it didn't matter. He took a couple of weird ISO threes where you're like, what the fuck was that? Now you're playing the Cavs. I don't think you care. Derek White had 25 and 5. I mentioned it. So Donnie Mitchell goes for 33. Derek White is like, hey, that's cool. I'm going to hit 7 from 12 from downtown. And I'm like the third or fourth best player in this team. Fuck you, Cleveland. That's fucked. Peyton Pritchard had 16 points as well. He's like, look, how about I just outperformed Darius Rucker, Judy Garland as well? And everyone's like, Peyton Pritchard? All right, sure. He went 5 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 10 from deep. Horford had 7, 8, and 4. He was actually like, it's weird because you look at this Celtics team without the extreme Zinger meal and go, wow, the Cavs' size and length, it's probably going to hurt them. Well, go the throw. Jared Allen didn't play again with his rib injury. And here we are. Horford's like, I can hang with like Mobley for a little bit and then we'll just put in the white guys. That's what they do. I'm not joking, Gerald. They're just like, hey, where's our white bench? And the Celtics are like, dude, over here, dude. Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett. Just look. I'll tell you what, this Boston team, the city of Boston definitely loves this team for a reason. Don't mention the racism, Jim. Okay. It was incredible. But they smashed it. Like Horford sort of did his bit and was sort of flying around. He's like fountain of youth shit. But then, like, if they don't have go the throw Jared Allen, it's fine to play him and then get Cornett and Hauser out there, stretch out the floor, kick some ass, take some names. And that's exactly what they did today. Pritchard ends up with the 16, as I mentioned, but like Cornett had 4 points. Yeah, Hauser had 0-1 in 17 minutes. It didn't matter. 10 rebounds for Cornett. Like, it's just like, yeah, they're going to be all right. Good job of the Celtics. They go up 1-0. They win by 20-5. I went back and forth. If you listen to the video this morning, I think on the show yesterday, I was like, Cleveland, I reckon they can make a game of this and cover that line. And then this morning when I was doing the doing the video, the NBA Straya drop-off playoff pick-up. Drop-off playoff picks. There you go. I'm like, hang on a second. No, Boston going to fucking kill them. Nailed that. So happy days. Boston 1-0. Then the second game, another shit pumping. OKC 117, Dallas 95. But this was actually a lot closer for a lot more of this game until OKC went, that's it. We're not fucking around anymore. Check this out. Whoopang! And ran right over the top of Dallas. It was really good, really tight first quarter, 23-23. Aaron Wiggins was smoking threes. He had 12 points like the second quarter entirely. He had 10 points in like 5 minutes. It was sick. But both teams were like really just bad early on. They were missing lots of shots. It was pretty messy. The place was jumping there in OKC though. But then in that second quarter, OKC rip off this 8-0 run and you're like, that seems good. And the place is like just fucking going absolutely off chops. All those cornbread Oklahoma City fucking just, I'm not going to call them Hicks, but they're Hicks. They stole my team, Gerald. My beloved Seattle Supersonics. Fucking goddamn, it still hurts. But that town absolutely loves this team, right? They all dress up in their fucking free T-shirts. They all go ape shit. It's like a college team, basically, right? And they rip off this 8-0 run and you're like, oh, that's dangerous for Dallas. Dallas sort of come flying back. They get it back down to 4 points. And then I think it's like 42-38. But OKC get SJ he starts going, hang on, I'm better than all of you, including you, Luka, and including you, Kyrie. And you're like, oh, that's a bit fucking hello. Case and Wallace, Chet, they hit shots. And that was that for the half. That was just, you turn around, they dropped 39 on Dallas and this much vaunted Dallas defense. I do love that it was the broadcast crew. Last couple of games in the Clippers series, like, oh, yeah, Dallas have turned this completely around on defense. And I've said time and time and time again on this here NBA Straya, yeah, but consistent effort on defense is the fucking toughest thing to do. We saw that with Minnesota in the first 2 games against Denver. They were amazing. Dallas, you can do that against the Clippers when it's like, hi, I'm James Harden. I'm fat, out of shape, and I'm not very good at basketball anymore. There's Paul George and Kawhi sitting on the fucking bench. It's pretty easy to play defense against that team. It's not so easy to play defense against a team that's full of fucking like 22-year-olds who are like, fuck you, and just like losing their shit, going absolutely ape shit and being really fucking good at the same time. 39 in that second quarter. They're down 11 at the half. Oh, 9 at the half, I think it was Dallas. It was like 62-53. And then they had a bit of a scare. Okay, see, at the start of the third quarter, Kyrie just goes, oh, yeah, fucking flat earth. Yeah, fucking what do we reckon about Palestine, man? And you're like, oh, here we go, Kyrie, Jesus. Goes absolutely apeshit. Nails a bunch of shots, hits him like he scored 8 points in like no fucking time. PJ Hamilton, Washington hits a 3 as well. It's a 1 point game. 1 point game after everything OKC had done. And they steadied. They just kept it level and steady. Isaiah Joe hits his 3 straight after that. And then Dort hits another 3 right after that as well. And that was the difference. Like, Luka did not have it going today, clearly, which I'll get to in a second. Giddey just got played off the floor, and that actually worked to OKC's advantage. He also got smacked in the gob by Dan Gafford, who just made the list. But it was the likes of Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Dort, just doing enough. And Dallas's dudes did not do enough, if that makes sense, right? They didn't quite get the like Josh Green and Dante Exum, God bless their cotton socks, did a little bit, but it was like they bring back Tim Hardaway the lesser, and you all know how I feel about Tim Hardaway the lesser. Dallas are a better team without him. It's as simple as that. He played 17 minutes today. He went 1 of 5 from the floor and 0 of 4 from downtown. He had 2 points. He was a minus 13. Not great, Bob. Not great. And flip side, OKC just have a litany of bench dudes who are just all hitting threes. It was kind of embarrassing. OKC just like, yeah, we've just got dudes coming out the wazoo. Check this out. Between Cason Wallace, Dort, Isaiah Joe, like they pissed Gordon Hayward off, and Aaron fucking Wiggins just goes, guess what? I'm better than Andrew Wiggins, and hit 3 or 4 from downtown. It was amazing. They kicked the shit out of him. SGA and Chet both hit 3s after that as well. It was like a 10-point difference at three-quarter time only because Kyrie hit a fucking crazy awesome 3. And then they stretched it out. In the fourth, Chet hit some more 3s. SGA was driving in the teeth of everything. J-Dub then finally got going as well. And you're like, this game is over. Because it was. It was like a 10, 12-point thing, I think. They're up 15. He hits another 3 to Jalen Williams. And this game was then cooked. They just cruised to the win, outscored them 21-8 from there. Game over. So, oh boy. Alice rose from the dead. That's right, no D. We're back to Alice. And if Luka Doncic is going to be playing like dog shit, then you're not going to win too many games, Gerald. That's how it works, really, with Dallas. Because he was pretty bad. They shot under 40%, as I mentioned, as a team. 16 turnovers, out-rebounded by 13. Thunder led this 25-15 on second chance points. They had 16 offensive rebounds to the Thunder. That is fucking brutal. To 11 for Dallas. The Mavs, look, Luka, 19 points. Jim, that's not bad. He shot 6 of 19. That's shit. 1 of 8 from downtown. Now, Gerald, what am I not? A math magician. 1 of 8 from 3. In my peer-reviewed opinion, that's fucking shit house. If you want to be an MVP fucking dude, you can't go 1 of 8 from downtown in a game 1. Kyrie had 20 points. Look, again, a slow start for Kyrie. He did it the other day. It feels like this is going to be a lot of a tougher matchup than against the Clippers, right? Where he's like, hey, who's guarding me? James Harden. Fucking nice. Now he's like, hang on a second, is that Lou Dort? Fuck. SGA? God damn it. Oh, give me some of that Josh Giddey. Speaking of which, I'll talk about that in a second. But 20 for Kyrie. He had 3 or 4 from downtown. But look, as soon as he got going that third quarter, you're like, fucking alert, wham, wham, wham. And then they stymied it because they hit their own shots as well. Gafford had 16-11. And it was kind of, they didn't get to really push that advantage of having the 2 big dudes because Chet played his ass off. So very handy for OKC. 10-6 for PJ Hamilton, Washington. 2 or 3 from downtown. It's not quite enough. And this is it. This is when you bring the Tim Hardaway the lesser in. Suddenly, PJ's in a bit of foul trouble. You've got Tim Hardaway the lesser. And he's just not very good, you know? Derek Jones Jr. had 2 sick dunks. That was cool. Didn't do much else. He had a 3. He had 7. 11 for Josh Green, though. Scott, I love him. 4 of 9 from the floor. 3 of 8 from downtown. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Not bloody bad. Dante hit a 3 late. Bit of garbage time. He actually had a shot deleted early, which was pretty bad. But Luka, look, the 9 assists, the 5 turnovers, the 19 points on 19 shots. This team goes as Luka goes, basically. He needed 35 for them to win. He had 19. They lost by 23. Simple as that sometimes. For the Thunder, SGA was incredible. 29, 9 and 9, 8 and 19 shooting. Chet was incredible as well. 19 and 7 with 3 blocks, 2 steals. He's a fucking unicorn, Gerald. He's just out there going, hey, check this out. I'm going to hit this three. Also, I'm going to block that shot and protect the rim. This is wild. He was really good. Dort, 2 of 5 from downtown. J-Dub got going as well. 18, 5 and 5 for him in the end after a 3 of 12, I think, shooting start in maybe 3 of 10 or something like that. Ends up 6 of 15, 2 of 5 from deep as well. Wiggins, 3 of 4 from 3. He had 16 points. God, he was good. But that was it, right? Dort hit a couple of threes. You had Case and Wallace hit 2 threes. He had 7 points. Isaiah Joe had 6 points with 2 made threes. Jalen Williams had 11 and 9. And it's just all those threes that just add up, all that found money buckets. God, it makes a difference. And Dallas just didn't have it, and they got fucking steamrolled. So good job by OKC. They lead 1-0. Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That is a knife, Jaylen Brown. God damn it. That's why you get the most money in the history of the NBA, one contract, right? The biggest contract ever. I can't believe you go to the Jaylen Brown. He can't go left. He's like, check this out, dickheads. Bang. That was such a fucking cool statement. The thing is, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers that you're doing against. 32 points, 12 of 18 shooting, 4 of 6 from deep, 6 rebounds, 2 assists and a block. When he is coming out wildly aggressive, but playing really under control and just finding the gaps, getting to his spots and doing his fucking thing, God, Jaylen Brown looks good. And you have those moments you're like, hang on. I love that he's a 1B. It would suck to have him as your best player, but when he's your second best player and you can just let Tatum have a kind of shit game, it's wildly important. And that's a fucking knife. Also, SGA, 29, 9 and 9 as the MVP candidate out there for this awesome, Oklahoma City Thunder team. He hit buckets exactly. Look, it feels weird to say this, but he hit buckets exactly when he needed to, if that makes sense. It's like, they're making a little bit of run. He's like, check this out. I just scored another 3 points. It's just another and one. I'm SGA. Fuck you. It was awesome. 29, 9 and 9. God damn, he's good. God damn, the Thunder rule. What about a Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. I'll tell you what, Sam Merrill went 0 of 5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers, 0 of 4 from downtown. He had 0 points in 16 minutes. Sam Merrill's just getting in some cardio at that point, Gerald. Jesus. And, of course, I already mentioned him as well. Tim Hardaway, the lesser, brutal, 1 of 5 in 17 minutes, 2 points, a minus 13. And I've got to bring it up. It leads very nicely into Old Mate, No Mates.
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Josh Giddey got played off the floor, 17 minutes. 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 2 from downtown, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, minus 7 in a game they won by 23 points. Oh, 2 points total. Look, he got fucking elbowed in the face. So it's a bit old mate, no mates. You got elbowed in the face. Dan Gafford not showing you any respect. But he's also old mate, no mates because he did take a 3. He went 0 of 2 from downtown, don't forget. There was quite literally on the call, Josh Giddey gets the ball. Luka Doncic is standing in front of him going, I could play defense, but how about I don't? And Josh Giddey goes, I will shoot this 3 then. And it was an air ball. The call was, they dare him to shoot. And that's why. It was, it's also a bit of the old pantsing of the night. I love the Wheat Bix kid, Josh Giddey. Love it. But that was a pantsing. Like when they're just like, we don't think you're going to hit this shot. And he's like, all right, fuck you. Missed it. I love that he tried it. That's the best part. He'll have way better games. This was just a shit one. He got punched in the head. It sucks. Josh Giddey will be better. He'll be fine. He's not a problem. Other pantsings though, Dante got his shot deleted. Pretty tough. But Gafford did get Chet as well at one point. Met him at the rim. Pretty good. Enjoyed those a lot. Who was better than Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Back-to-back white little point guards. Gerald, oh geez. Peyton Pritchard, watch out. He's definitely the guy who starts a fight at a pub and then like scurries away before, like while his bigger mates punch on with like some random guys that he started the fight with. He's like started a fight with like army guys. And like his mates are like, oh, fuck, we're gonna have to jump in. And then he's suddenly like found later like macking on with some chick. It's like, where the fuck did you go, Peyton? And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? Did you win the fight? And you're like, this fucking guy, man. Anyway, he had 16 points. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 5 of 12 and 4 of 10 from downtown. That's pretty bloody good. And it's obviously better than Lonzo Ball's entire career in the playoffs because he's never played a playoff game. How about Chet Holmgren as well, though? So far, he's played 5 games in the playoffs. He tops the Thunder's all-time list of rookies in a playoff run in terms of points scored, beating Lou Dort, Steven Adams, bro, and Serge Ibaka. It's pretty good. He's only played 5 games. He scored 80 points. Good job, Chet. Good job. And Dickhead of the Week will probably this week be won by Dan Gafford for elbowing our man, the Mop Top Mumba of the Week, Bix Kid himself in the face. So the list, remember, Draymond, Westbrook, now Dan Gafford. There's also a bunch of other people. I think the entire country is Slovenia, Spain. Yeah, it's a big list. All right, let's do some NRs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Let's do some NRs brought to you by the NBA Straya shop. Get your merch, Remember, go to nbastraya.com/shop or just click through on the very pretty pictures on the socials. Instagram, Facey, they're all right there. Get a hoodie, get a t-shirt, get a stubby holder, get one of these, a coffee mug. There's only a couple of them left. Gerald's like, Jim, I put up with all your shit. Can I get one? I'm like, for $25 you can. Easy way, go check it out. Good times, great stuff. Oh, yeah, this is the tough one, is the dog. So the kind of half joke has been like, I need to pay for his insulin somehow because the fucking dog's got diabetes. He's got the diabetes. And fucking hell, is he taking a turn for the worse. God, fingers crossed he's all right. He's going to go to the vet tomorrow. It just sucks. He's 10. You'd think he's got a few more years up his sleeve because he's a little Westie. And yeah, he is just in a fucking rough state at the moment. It is not good. And I don't like the idea of it because I don't want to be a blubbering mess for like weeks because that's what'll happen when it all goes south, I'll tell you what. You might go, wow, where's Jim? It's the middle of the playoffs. It's like, yeah, he lost his dog. It's going to be tough. Anyway, hopefully, it turns the corner. He's all right. Anyway, what was I saying? I was going to say some stuff about, that's right. So getting emotionally sidetracked by my ailing dog. Get some merch, whatever. It's all good. It'll be fine. Fingers crossed. Today. Did Wemby get robbed for Defensive Player of the Year? This is the big thing today. Oh, Wemby was robbed. Look at his stats, Jim. It's like, yes. The stats that I see are the fact that the San Antonio Banderas Spurs gave up 118 points a game. The second worst in the third worst in the league, right? Fourth worst. The Jazz gave up more down the stretch. Wemby's stats were sick. Led the league in blocks. Led the league in, he had also a pretty good bunch of steals, right? So 254 total blocks to 162. 88 steals to 52 steals. 105.8 defensive rating, 104.5 for Rudy. It just feels like Rudy managed to make this Timberwolves team he turned them into a generational defense. When he's playing next to Karl Anthony Towns, who's barely played fucking defense in his life. A weapon in Anthony Edwards, smart veteran in Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniels. Wemby's out there, it's like, cool, I'm 7'40". I should block 87 shots a game because I'm fucking twice as tall as everybody. It's basically like a 14-year-old playing in the under 10s at one point. We're just like, what are you trying to do? Shoot? Fuck off. Bang. Like, yes, he should block way more shots than everybody. But I think the shit that we saw Rudy do this year was really, really fucking good. The stats, the block numbers, all that sort of shit will lean towards like Wemby. That's fine. I think Rudy definitely deserved that. it was also kind of like a little bit of a kick in the dick to this theory, though, yesterday when they held the defending champs to 80 points without the Defensive Player of the Year. So maybe Rudy wasn't the cause of it, but at the same time, like the Spurs were fucking horrible all season. So especially on defense, even with Rudy there, with Wemby there. Right, the big one: should Jamal Murray been suspended? Yeah, nah. From a meta point of view, I didn't want him suspended. At the same time, I don't think you should be allowed to throw shit at the opposition or the refs. Maybe that's just me. Like, as I said, Draymond's just like, that's cool, ninja stars. Wha-bang! Like, just fucking wailing on dudes. He's like, hang on a second. Throwing things. A heat pack. Technically, a bazooka is throwing something at the opposition. Like that sort of shit, you know? I want him on the court. $100,000 is pretty hefty in terms of fines, but at the same time, it could be more. He should have been kicked out of that game, I reckon. I reckon that would have done enough. If he had been booted from that game, then we go, right, don't need to suspend him. He missed the rest of that game anyway. There's punishment enough. But because they didn't do that, when you look back at it, he threw a towel and then he threw the fucking heat pack while it was all happening. You're taking the piss at that point, Jamal. I think he probably kind of ought to have been at that point. Throwing shit. What are you doing? Like the 5-year-old squid, he knows not to throw. He still fucking loses it because he throws a tantrum every so often and you have to tell him off. He's 5. You're a grown-ass man, Jamal Murray. Sort your shit out. All right, Jazz Oz had some good ones. The Tatum and or Brown and or Celtics in general shitting in the bed is nearing us. Yeah, nah. Not in this round. Not in this round. If they end up playing the Knicks in the conference finals, if they had the Mitch Robinson, Julius Randle, Bojan pieces, if the Knicks were healthy, I think what we'll see is the Celtics general shitting in the bed happen in the finals if they do make it. I mean, if I'm saying if, then I'm presuming they didn't shit the bed against the Knicks. There will be probably a game where they shit the bed against the Knicks, but they still win that series. The general shitting in the bed, likely in the finals if it's going to happen. Yeah. So I don't know if it's quite near right now. They're probably got another week and a half up their sleeves. The playoff exposure for the Aussie boys, a.k.a. fucking legends, says Jez, is going to take us to gold in Paris. Yeah, nah. I fucking love that we've got 3 dudes playing against each other in a playoff series right now. I would prefer to have like Patty and Jingles and some of the like Dyson still floating around on other teams, but unfortunately that hasn't happened. But having Josh Green, Dante, and our man Gids out there during this playoff run is actually fucking huge. So I think at least we should be gunning still for a medal. I like that. Maybe not gold in Paris, but I am an optimist, so let's go fucking gold. You're right there, Jez. Let's go. Yeah. And Scotty Baxter. So I did the old Dad Straya thing the other day about the idea of like, I hate it when people go, oh, yeah, they grow up so quick. Oh, geez, look. And it's like, yeah, that's why you should be appreciating all the, I remember when, it's like, yeah, I don't fucking like looking into the, they're growing up so fast. I don't care. It's like the cool shit is happening now. Just be present, be in the moment, enjoy the shit. And Scotty Baxter was like, oh, man, I appreciated it. He was solo parenting the 2- and 4-year-old the past couple of days as his wife took the 7- and 9-year-old to Melbourne, and it was fun as fuck. He's like, look, it's random, but I just wanted to reach out. I love that shit. I love every sort of bit of Dad Straya, hashtag Dad Straya that we get back. Because, yeah, look, old mate, she's just so often, it's like, oh, you know, it's just look at him. Oh, look when they were so small. Yeah, but they're still very cool right now. Like, my point is always just to be like, yeah, these guys are fucking awesome. It's really cool hanging out with them. I don't want to look into the future and feel sad about like stuff that hasn't happened yet. I'm enjoying the stuff that is happening right now. All right, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I don't know if OKC is too young. I think they might be fine. We did say the other day, it's like, either Dallas or OKC. They could sweep each other. Well, that's not going to happen for Dallas now, is it? OKC are just like, we're almost too young to know how too young we are, if that makes sense. They're like, we don't actually know how young we are because we're too dumb and too young. This is great. They are the youngest team in playoff history that was like a top 5 in both offense and defense and has a top 3 MVP candidate and an awesome second scorer, an incredible sort of defensive perimeter corpse, and a unicorn in the middle. They are sort of missing that extra big dude, but god damn, OKC might be fucking fine. I'm just saying. Speaking of which, that sort of leads just straight into the old Outback Takehouse. Oh, yes. It's Wednesday at Outback. You know what that means? Well, it's May 8th, so it's Australia Day. That's right, we're going to get that old Australian classic. It's just a fucking meat pie. That's what the entire special board is today. Shut up and eat this pie. It's Australia Day. Fuckos, only at Outback. And today's flame grilled take is, I said it at the start of the week, OKC is so young that they don't know how to not sweep teams. They swept the Pelicans, they're going to go sweep Dallas and get to the conference finals and then fucking sweep the Wolves. Only at Outback. No, I don't know if they'll sweep the Wolves. The Wolves defense yesterday, I banged on about it like to the detriment of basically everything else out of that game yesterday. But it's incredible to see a team make Denver second guess themselves. Like Denver are just so confident in everything that they do. And they go, hang on. Fuck. What do we do? Jokic is like, yes, they pass ball. Oh, where does man? Where does man go? Ah, shit fucking. And without Bruce Brown, like that other point of attack guy, right? This is Jamal Murray's on one leg. Without Bruce Brown, it's like Peyton Watson, Christian Braun. Those dudes aren't Juzzy Holiday. Like they're not dudes who are like, all right, toss them the ball. They'll get in the teeth of the defense, cause some havoc, open up some lanes, cook, and we'll cook from there. Reggie Jackson has a hint of that to his game, but he's already carrying an injury as well. Denver might actually just be fucked. So it's weird how quickly it happens sometimes, but when you lose that, like those two massive key pieces from your title run last year in Brucey Brown and El Jefe Green, of just veterans who know what to do at the exact moment in time, making Nikola Jokic's life that much easier, covering up for Jamal's injury, KCP fucking completely forgetting how to shoot threes, Michael Porter Jr. being a giant beanpole dipshit. Like, it gets weird very quickly sometimes when it all falls apart. But we have seen this time and time again in the NBA where it's like, well, we just played 100 games last year. We cruised through the fucking regular season. We ended up with the 2 seed because we fucking cooked it against the San Antonio team in the second last game of the year. And now we're playing a fucking whirring death machine of defense. This sucks. And they bow out. It could easily happen. OKC, look, the way their defense plays, fuck me, they could actually sweep Dallas. Thing is, Dallas could just get on a heater and also win the next 4. So anyway, good stuff. Strayan Player Watch, going straight into it. Josh Giddey, as I mentioned, the 2 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in 17 minutes. A -7 in a game they won by a lot. 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 2 from downtown. Look, he'll be fine. He'll find his confidence in the shot again and just knock him in, and Dallas will be like, shit. Speaking of Dallas, Josh Green, 25 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 8 from downtown as well. Played really well. Enjoyed that. And Dante had a quick hiccup early. 1 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 points. Not a great one, especially considering he hit that 3 in garbage time, but otherwise. Shane Hill, shoot your shot, light them up award. We don't have the drop for this on here, I believe. Nah, but that's all right, because it's just about Derek White. So today he hit 7 threes. There is a list. There are 4 players in playoff history with 20 threes across a 3-game span in one playoff run. It's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jamal Murray, and now Derek fucking White. That's pretty bloody good, if you ask me. He is shooting the piss out of it. Oh boy, he hit some fucking threes today. Like, it was pretty funny just watching him torch him. He goes 7 of 12 in the end. And joins a pretty select list. I'll tell you that much. All right, what about a Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in where Jim just checks his phone to look at what Patty Mills is up to? Patty's been causing a lot of havoc. Oh, there's Dante. What is Dante doing? Oh, it's just him rocking up for the game today. He does love like the ripped jeans, spattered with paint look jeans. He's a very chill kind of dude is our Dante. I kind of appreciate it. Flip side is Patty. Patty's like, hey, check out all the fucking crazy shit I wear. And it's literally, I believe, we've got a 2024 collection part 1. So that's all the fits that he was getting off during the season. And it's awesome. Because he is one stylish motherfucker as our Patty Mills. That is wicked good. Right, let's do a game preview. Game preview. Thanks, inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? I'm pretty bloody tired, and the squid just had to get taken home from daycare as well because he's got his hives again, so he's allergic to something. And it's shit. So I've got to run off after this. Anyway, fucking dog in a bad way. The baby keeps breaking out in hives. What the fuck is going on at the old Clements household? Nothing good. Anyway, tomorrow we have Indy versus the Knickerbockers of New York City. Should be a cracking game too. The Knicks are 4.5-point favourites, which seems about right after a 4-point win in game one. I think the Knicks probably pull this out. I might go the Pacers at the line though, plus 4.5. I am, however, no, actually, fuck that. Let's go the Knicks minus 4.5 because, look, you can hunt Tyrese Halliburton. That's what they were doing last game. It just sort of depends on whether or not Indy hits some threes. They lose Mitch Robinson to the Knicks. Miles Turner hurt them pretty handily at 20 points in that game one. But you've still got Isaiah Hartenstein, Precious Achiuwa, who can go out there and bang some bodies if you need another big man. You've got Hart, you've got Dante. They played their asses off next to Brunson. Like, my only fear is that, like, that's kind of their only, like, outlet for scoring at this point, where you're like, hey, Jalen, can you score 40? And he's like, sure, I can. Do you want me to? And they're like, yes. And he's like, okay. He's had to do it 4 times already. Seriously, he's the first person to ever do it where he's had 4 straight games of 40-plus points and 5 assists. Like, that's fucking stupid in the playoffs. God damn. I think the Knicks, though, their defense is that good that if Halliburton's not firing, and he very clearly is not, then they can probably get it done again. It just sort of just hangs on whether or not Indy can hit some threes. If they can hit these threes, they can make this Knicks team really, really, really just fall on a heap. Because the Knicks, look, obviously their defense is really good. Without Mitch Robinson, it gets a little bit sketchier, but perimeter-wise, you can throw Dante, Hart, and Jalen Brunson out there, cause some havoc. You've got the OG Anunoby. You just wonder about their offensive upside. But I think their defense outweighs the Indy offense with Halliburton still just, like, not right. So they'll hunt him on D some more. Hart will cause some more havoc. I think the Knicks get this one done. It's a really fun one. So I might change my mind tomorrow morning by the time we get around to doing the drop-off playoff picks. But at the moment, the first lane is probably the Knicks minus 4.5. Just. Because it's hard to see the Knicks blowing the doors off them, but the Pacers, if it doesn't go right, it could get squirrely pretty quickly because the Knicks D is that good. I'll take the Knicks. Feels like the safest one. In front of that MSG crowd, you bets to believe it. All right, there you go. That's it. Dunskies for today. I'm going to run off and go help old mate with the squid. She just, popped into the hospital to go check the hives that he keeps getting. Hopefully it's all good. Either way, we'll be back on deck tomorrow with a special guest. That'll be fun. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey IG. We'll be all over the socials. Don't you worry about that. The AFL Today Show as well. We had the Marmalade guys on today. That was fun as hell, so go check that out. AFL Today Show on your podcast app, on YouTube, all that good stuff. And of course, you can watch this show on YouTube as well. Get around all the other shows. Cricket Today Podcast, Football Today Podcast, NFL Straya. Hold all tickets for your GGs. Rate, review, like, star, subscribe, all that good shit across, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using, your Android phone, all that stuff. Go on. Get around NBAstraya.com/shop as well. Get some merch. Help a brother out. And big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, and also to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section I, Green, and Dozers for the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey Up on Music, Spotify. Remember, NBA Straya supports train band, so should you. And that's it. No skit today because we're here in the studio and I got to get the fuck out of here. So, this is NBA Straya saying, can't wait for Pacers Knicks tomorrow. Should be good. Make sure you keep an eye out for the video tomorrow morning. And until then, look after yourselves, would you? And let it You can still see my hand. It's there. Whatever.